Okay, so this is for all you people out there that have the 2.4 liter Chrysler Jeep motor, like in the Jeep Trailhawks. I think it comes in quite a few other. And you've got issues with the VVT solenoids sticking, causing low compression, causing misfires, all that good stuff. Now they tell you that you cannot unstick these solenoids, that you can't clean them, that they're not serviceable. But let me tell you what I did. And this is by no means am I recommending this, just saying that this is what worked for me. We're on a budget, couldn't afford the 900 bucks or so for the brick that has all the solenoids in it. So initially I thought it was a timing chain. Bought the timing chain, started looking at it a little bit more closely, and it had low compression on all four cylinders. It was actually sucking a little bit because the intake cam was out of time. So pulled the valve cover, and this is what I did to get it unstuck. Well, first I diagnosed it with King Bolin bidirectional scan tool, and I was able to actuate the solenoids, and only number 3 would rattle. Only number 3 was unstuck. All the other 3 were stuck. So just to be sure, I took and made a long pigtail and powered each of the solenoids off the number 3 that I knew that had a good driver and knew worked. And sure enough, neither of the other 3 cylinders, none of those would actually move. The solenoid was stuck. So pulled the valve cover, and I'm not going to explain to you how to do that. If you're watching this video, you already know how to do that most likely. And then when you get the valve cover off, then you'll see your brick will be right here. And it'll have like 4 little hooks that come out over the valve spring. Now you take that cover off that has those hooks on it, and you'll see little troughs. I think there are 3 of them altogether that hold oil that come in and out of the solenoids. So I took a rag and I took and I soaked up all that excess oil out of all those little troughs, and I pulled the valve spring off, kicked the rocker to the side, pulled the spring with the little plunger out, and then I filled those little troughs with gas. And then I took the spring off a little plunger for the lifter, and I worked that back and forth while I had the solenoid powered up with my King Bolin. Now it took probably 2 or 3 minutes for each cylinder, but finally I was able to get 2 of these completely unstuck and free and sounded good and crisp. So at this point I had 3 of them unstuck. This one over here was still being stubborn. I could not get it unstuck. Worked it, put the gas in it, scooped it out, or soaked it up, worked the plunger, did it, left the solenoid engaged or energized, and could never get that one to come undone while I had the valve cover off. So went ahead and put the motor back together, put the cover back on, pushed the valve spring back, was able to get the rocker back in, put it all back together, cranked it up, and after about, and I put about probably half a quart of transmission fluid in it and let it sit there and run. And after about, 10, 15 minutes, this one over here finally freed up too. My misfire went away. Now my plugs were kind of fouled up, but after say 30 minutes, I had it all freed up. And you can see now today, my sister's legs are so short, can't get in the car. But today, no more check engine, no more limp mode, no misfire, and she's almost, well, she got a bad headlight, but she's ready for emissions. So all those people that tell you that you cannot service these solenoids, that's only half true. If with a little bit of determination and maybe 4 ounces of gasoline and a little bit of patience, you can unstick these. Now, again, I'm not saying do this. Any damage that results from following my advice is completely on you. But after we ran it for a little while, I drained all the oil, did a complete oil change with good, clean 020 oil. And like I say, proof is in the pudding. It's running great and it's ready for emissions. So it sure beats having to spend, you know, $900 for a new brick, or I think I saw some on eBay for $400. But still, if you're getting something used, you just never know. So if you're stuck with it going in limp mode, no, low compression, check engine light, 1, 2, 3, or 4 VVT solenoid sticking, this works. So you might want to try it. Thanks.